Hi guys, Shank here. This is going to be a very special video because not only is this my first ever unboxing, but this is also going to be my 200th video on this channel. And I just want to thank everybody who's been following me throughout this journey, who subscribed, liked videos, and watched a lot of them. Thank you. It's been a fun year, and let's dive right in. Today we're going to be unboxing the Moyu Aosu V7. This is a 4x4 by Moyu, and this is the double track version. I already do use the single track version, so it'll be interesting to see how this compares against that cube. Next up, we have one of the most anticipated puzzles that I'm unboxing, the Dayan FTO. This puzzle is definitely a pretty cool looking puzzle. It's a new puzzle that has just been added to DWCA, replacing clock. But the box, however, has been pretty damaged during shipping. So let's see if this can still kind of fold up, because this looks like pretty good amount of damage. But let's just see how that goes. Now let's dive right into the Moyu Aosu V7. To start off, the box is pretty shiny. I do have the plastic film, and to remove that, I have a very fun tool. I have a flathead screwdriver. So let's check it out, and here's a fun montage of me trying to open this up. Okay, and I have removed the plastic film, and looking here, you can see that rainbow kind of Pokemon card like shine you have all the way around here. You have pretty good shine out here too. Some stats written, probably some records using 4x4, but they're all in Chinese, so God knows. And let's just pop this bad boy right open. So one of the flagship features, okay. So one of the flagship features of this cube is that it has 112 magnets in it. As the double track version, it also does have the ball core. So let's first check out our accessories. Probably going to be the standard Moyu accessories, but let's just open them up. First we have a screwdriver, yay! I have about at least 7 of these bad boys, a bunch of Moyu screwdrivers that come with every single puzzle you get. You get this thing, I'm considering it some kind of tutorial, again, all in Chinese, and then finally, I think this is the main tutorial. This might be another video, I don't know, and let's see if we have anything else. Nope, and the rest of this is empty. So we do not get any pouches or anything with this, so let's just organize that up really quickly in the side. Okay, now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the 4x4. 4x4 feels actually very light, even though I do already have the Moyu Aosu V7, like the single track version. This is also pretty light, but this somehow feels kind of lighter. It's just the fact that even like I feel like this is a perfect weight. That one feels pretty hollow. This one feels like it's fully built but still hollow, if you know what I mean. That one, like the other one, feels a little bit more like cheaper plastic. This one feels like it's just light but like premium plastic. And okay, why is this packed like a candy? Okay, so opening this up, how do we get the cube out? Do I just push? Okay, there we go. And we finally have the cube. Look at the UV coating on this one. This feels a lot better because mine has worn down over time. Look at that. That is beautiful. That's honestly great UV coating there. Really similar to the 5x5 by Moyu I have. And when I got that, I was like, why don't I have the same UV coating on my 4x4? Turns out I did. It just got ruined over time. So let's dive right in to the first turns. And as you can see, this thing is pretty clacky. Feels very fast, honestly. Not that fast. You can hear it's kind of dry. especially on this one. But it's honestly at a decent setting where it's loose enough to be doing a lot of these turns. Probably definitely like could be a little bit faster. That would benefit, but nevertheless, this isn't a bad start. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Nevertheless, this is not a bad start. Let's check out the slice turns. Let me compare that to this one actually. Yeah, definitely a little bit different. And you can see that difference in the UV coating. So you can already tell that the UV coating does tend to wear off like with use, which isn't the greatest thing. But the cube, what I'm seeing here with the first turns, is that the cube feels like every turn it's fast, but it's not insanely fast to the point where every turn is as effortless as you would get on like a flagship 3x3. Every turn, I feel kind of just falls a little bit short to where I would do a full turn, and so it just kind of needs a little bit of setting up. But apart from that, one very unique thing you would notice here, take a close look at how this kind of U layer will align after I hit it. After I flick it and do a U-turn. So every single time, the magnets kind of like make it go a little bit further and snap it back into position. That is a very similar concept to what we've seen in the Yan 12. And so this is where this feels very fast, because the magnets can still get you to align while having the cube a lot faster. So it is. Oh, and we saw that first kind of catch up with the cube. Definitely a problem with all 4x4s. You can't set it too loose, can't set it too tight, especially because these tend to pop. And so this looks like about, let's do a test. Okay, looks pretty good. We have the the normal screws that you can use the Moyu screwdriver to adjust. Just pop it in the middle. It's kind of like a 2x2, and you can just adjust those. And apart from that, this cube is pretty good. I would be maining it over my current 4x4, but if you take a look at the U-turn here, as you can see, definitely I do notice the magnet trend on this one, and this is just great. So if you're wondering which one to get between these two, especially if you're like, is there really a difference between these two puzzles, the track 1 and track 2? I would say it's worth spending the 7-8 extra bucks to get this one. It's a lot more comfortable to use, a lot faster, good magnet strength majorly. That's the main factor that I like. I feel like here you can still notice a lot more of the magnets. Here it isn't that noticeable, but definitely, as you can see, this one's also set up pretty slow, and so I'll set this one up fast, and so I'll be doing some solves in the end. Stay tuned for that. But before we do all of that, we're gonna open the one puzzle I've been anticipating for the longest time ever, the Dayan FTO. So, talking about the cube box, the first thing you notice about my cube box is it's damaged. But the second thing you notice about my cube box is that it's pretty silvery, shiny, and it has these shapes on the side that represent the face of an FTO. But to me, the first time I looked at it, I was like, why does it have pyramids, like kind of the pyramid shape out here? And it also does say hidden central magnet here, and does say core mag here. So still a little bit translated, Dayan FTO, there we go. And this is probably one of my this is my second Dayan puzzle. I do have the Megamix, which I will also bring over to compare. But okay, finally, and let's see. Okay, a lot more shinier than I thought actually. But the cube, this main part of the cube isn't that shiny. But let's just open the box right up. With it being damaged, I don't know exactly how to open this, but I'm guessing I could open this from here. Oh. Okay, and there we go. That feels like I feel like I opened it upside down, but at least it's open. And we have the FTO. This is very much looking like a GAN puzzle. Looks like a frost tip coated cube. And then we have this FTO tutorial, all in Chinese, just so that you can learn absolutely nothing because you don't know Chinese. But I guess looking at the images would be fun, or we'll just check out a YouTube tutorial. And so let's see. Let's just put this right back into its box and take that aside. And now for the unboxing moment. First of all, let me just see how you want to open this. I think right from here. So, okay, that's a struggle. And let's check it out, guys. The Dayan FTO, one of the coolest puzzles. Definitely feels very good to hold. It is, I think, frosted or matte. It's not that shiny as you can see. Let me just compare that to the new 4x4 I just got. Oh wait, is that my new one? That is my new one. As you can see, it did get a lot of fingerprints. That's something I've noticed with all Moyu cubes. But there, and then this. So this is pretty matte, but I do like it, honestly. I feel like my hands don't slip a lot and first turns, but I actually don't know how to turn an FTO. What? Wait, so, okay, hear this. Sounds like something's grinding in there, but hopefully there's nothing grinding in there. Okay, let me do like the classic ALK, or righty. Okay, I am definitely not too qualified to be talking about this FTO, but the sound is what surprised me the most. Sounds very weird. Again, this is how a 4x4 would sound. And this is how this is sounding. Okay, nothing rattling, that's good. But checking out the colors here, the purple is definitely a pretty good color. It's a little dark, but looks pretty good. And the white with the red looks very nice. The blue, the red. This gray is actually very beautiful in person. Honestly, I do like how the gray turned out to look. The gray looks nice, especially with that matte finish. Yellow's pretty bright. Orange, these kind of remind me of a cheap cube. The plastic doesn't feel too great, but hopefully we have better hardware coming now that the event is in the WCA. And it's pretty hard to turn. So the way you turn this FTO is you kind of turn the outer layers, but I am guessing you don't turn anything else. Yep. So it's the outer layers that you turn, but you can turn the left layer. Rather than doing this, you can also move the right side up and down, and then you have U-turns. Definitely very small to do flicks, very slow. And it's pretty small, comparing that to my hand, or let's just be a little bit more scientific. 4x4 doesn't feel that big. It's pretty small, especially considering that it's such a big puzzle, but that's no surprise. So let me just get the Dayan Mega Mix that I have over, and we'll compare the two, especially in terms of size, sound, and finish, and maybe even colors, because that's also a puzzle with many colors. So let me just bring it over. Okay, and now I have my Mega Mix to compare. Comparing the purple side first, though the colors are similar, this, as you can see, has a nice and shiny finish, but this one doesn't. That's what makes these similar colors look pretty different in terms of looks, because this one feels a lot more premium, to be honest, than this one. But the matte finish does have a little bit better anti-slip. Like, my hand does not feel like it's going anywhere when I'm holding this. Do need to figure out a good grip to hold this, but this is gonna be a fun puzzle. As you can see, this isn't that bad. It is pretty fast. The thing that again surprises me the most is the sound. Sounds very hollow, and taking a look at the box again, we do get okay. So look, taking a closer look, this spring is pretty coiled up, and that also leads to it having a pretty less, like a lot of resistance, and it doesn't bend a lot, as you can see there. Putting a lot of pressure, and it's just kind of, it's not that springy to be honest, but it's like, it has like double springs attached. Feels kind of like so. And so, taking a look at the FTO, let's just see if this one fits. Okay, that one does fit. Okay, but so you have these screws in the center to adjust and tension this. And taking a look at the magnets here, you have this nice internals, the white ones, and then you have this kind of you have the primary internals with these kind of groups to have a little bit more kind of friction as it moves, to have a little bit more grip, stay on track. So taking a closer look here, you have one of these in every single, both edge and corner. So right there we go. Well, that's too close. And here we are moving a little bit back. But as you can see right there, we have another one of these bad boys. And so, does look pretty cool. I do want to say, as a puzzle just kept on the ground, it does look pretty unique. And a lot of people just depict it like this. I believe that doesn't do it justice. In real life, this thing keeping it down like this really does make a pretty unique look to the cube. And again, this is pretty kind of weird sounding. I think this is pretty loose out of the box. Could work well with a little bit more of tensioning. And I also do wish that sometime later they create a UV coated version. Do believe most people prefer UV coated a lot of times, and so it would do pretty well with UV coating. But in general, this is a very good puzzle. Definitely, I'm not an expert, but I will be producing a video probably, hopefully, where I will try to solve this puzzle without any help.